Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another lovely evening here with the Community Crossover Cup. We're going to have the very first semifinals. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be Atlantic Lightning versus the Burning Blossoms. I'm N of Class, and I'm working tonight here with Temporal, and on the control room, we got First Night of Knee. So, Temporal, how are you doing? What are we going to see tonight?
I'm doing great, thank you. I expect to see a lot of goats. I think teams will be wanting to take the last opportunities they can to get this composition out of their system. And in previous matches, both teams have shown quite a proficiency with that composition or variations of it.
Okay, well, I mean, it's definitely something that can be run. We're going to Oasis first in a little bit. Now, Oasis
Hmm.
has been a very interesting map in general within Overwatch, and I think it has a very interesting dynamic when it comes to the different types of things you can see in different points. So, is one of the teams going to have a little bit of an edge going to certain points, you think, or not so much?
Um, I think that Burning Blossoms has a bit more flexibility in what they have, or at least in what they've shown off they can run. So I think they will have an advantage. The different points on Oasis, as you pointed out, can require very different styles. You've got the big round one, which has a lot of high ground in it. But then you've got University as well, which is a more tight, more, like I'm going to say, goats focused map.
Okay. So is it possible that while one team might run boats on a map like University, there's a big hole in the middle. So it's definitely possible that people get pulled into that or pushed into that. And with
I
this
hope
new
so.
Horus the Hog thing coming out, I mean, if one of the teams runs that, it could be detrimental to the other team running goats, right?
Yes, it could be. It's a good point. I'm
So
hoping.
yes,
I'm
we
hoping we
started
see a
on
lot
that
of
point.
good. I'm hoping we see
Very nice.
a lot of people dunked in the hole. I do like that. Shame we're not seeing Ilios yet, but we may get there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we get
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it's definitely possible. I mean, it's always fun to go to that furthest map in the series. So right now, starting on University here, like you said, very goats heavy matchup possible, but maybe in for some variation. And obviously, some TPS could come into the mix because pure goats has even on the pro level not really been a thing or wasn't really a thing anymore at the end of the last
That's
stage of without
that's
too long.
Good point. Yeah, a lot of the triple DPS comps coming in. Shanghai obviously winning that stage off the back of a DPS comp.
What are we seeing here?
We are seeing, we're seeing that bunker that Orisa Roadhog combination coming out from. I'm not getting the team names up here. Um, that's Atlantic
That's
Lightning.
Atlantic Lightning on the left, yeah, in the
Thank you.
blue, and Burning Blossom on the right.
and
Yeah,
we are
they're
seeing goats come out from Burning Blossoms here. Oh,
yeah,
Ana
it's
goats
gonna be
though.
the Anagoats. I mean, Anagoats is definitely one that we've been seeing more and more of with the Zenyatta just not being able to put out enough healing, and with that DPS like crouching into it and creeping into it. That's definitely something that you gotta be wary of. Need a little bit more
Hmm.
healing. The sleep threat's gonna be nice, and you see already the nice wall coming out here from Delete Break straight away. The freeze trying to come in onto the Diva as well. She's slowed, she's frozen, she's out of the mech. Pacifist getting that final blow there. Alpha Fed though also on Balloon. And yeah, I mean it's a little bit of a trade. They're both going back and forth. Main tank is out here for Atlantic Lightning, but there's the boop into the well. Well, the well really. They're gonna be able to come back up, but Vega was unencumbered, and looks like this fight's definitely going Atlantic Lightning's way.
Yeah. So after getting a good position on the point there, Blossoms just losing those two members into the well gave Atlantic Lightning the I guess the control on the point. They were able to wall off the two returning players and clean out the rest of the members of that team.
Not seeing any switches come out just yet, which is fine. I mean, they're definitely close to a shatter. You got a nano, and that's a lot of sustain. But they're going to be careful about these ults coming on the other side. They're at least going to have to approach fast if they want to make anything work before these come out. Balloon is already walled off.
Ooh.
VMAX to shatter into the wall as well. The Blizzard comes out, and with that Coalescence, they're just getting finished off. And at least they drew out a few ultimates from Atlantic Lightning, but it's not a great fight.
No, Delete Brig doing a great job here with his wall placement, building up that Blizzard very fast. Yeah, some solid wall placement there, predicting that the shadow, assuming that the shadow will come out and blocking that off was really good there.
So they,
And
they can
now,
attack now because Wei
yeah,
May's
yeah,
not there yet. They go quick. They have numbers.
but they will be running into a whole hog. They're running into a dragon as well, as we see that come out straight away.
And Dragon didn't get much, but now there's a Nano Reinhardt. They're trying to push him away with that whole hog, but that Soundberry has to be used, otherwise they're not getting anywhere. Nice charge here from Salt Lake, and Bomar anti-heal just gets pushed back. The wall sort of saving him, but I don't think he's going to be long for this world. Gets the heal off. That Roadhog is so tanky. It's ridiculous. Itachi gets shattered, though. Looks like this is going to be end for Moira, and that's a lot of healing gone for the side of Atlantic Lightning. But with that supercharger, looks like they might be able to turn out this fight. But it's a huge, beautiful anti-nade, but there's no one else to follow up on it. The self-destruct does get 2, so Balloon is still alive. Will make it back into the mech? I'm not entirely sure. Yes, does make it, but I mean, only a D.Va versus 3, I don't think that's going to be enough. Balloon will get demech, but Salt, like, and Pacifist going back. This fight is going to go on for a little bit longer, guys, because this is just one of the last ones. They cannot retreat. They cannot reset. There's a frozen Reinhardt in the pit, and yeah, right now it's just Pacifist going down. The Reinhardt will come back up. They're just being harassed by the Lucio of Hayden right here. So it's just a little bit of a stagger, a little bit of a stall. Looks like Atlantic Lightning will take the point, though, and there it is, guys. 1-0 on the first map.
Yeah, Atlantic Lightning doing really well there, and not investing all their ultimates in those fights. I mean, they were able to stagger out their ultimates to stop that contest at the end coming in from Burning Blossoms, and eventually just take that 99-0.
And now we're going over to City Center. And you said it was a very different point from University. How so? Like, what makes it so different?
So there's a lot of an aerial component here. There's no roof on this middle point, and there's a lot of space around. So you can actually bring out lots of snipery or long range heroes like Widow or Hanzo if you choose to. And there's a bit of cover also in the middle provided by this little rotunda. So if you need to get away from the new team, you can just run around the back of it. And it gives you, I guess you have the choice of, you can run a composition that wants to go for the high ground, or you can run a more brawly composition on the point and just play hide and seek with your opponent, force them to come to you.
As almost the mirror coming out here, but it's going to be the Reaper versus the McCree that's the big difference maker here. Gonna see what they can do with that. They can poke them a little bit more from range, but with that wall, they can come very close. Himeka already trying to go through the gazebo, does opt not to go through that because I think that angle is being covered. Nice halt, but there's no hook on either composition, so those halts are not really doing much, but just pull them together for some poke. Balloon just backs off a little bit, doesn't want to get frozen up, and the Lucio going very deep here. The halt also following him up, but Bomar the first casualty, at least the mech is. The wall does come out, but there's a coalescence from Vega already to be able to do a lot with that. The wall gets put out and get put down from both teams already. Counter coalescence is here for Itachi, but now they have to find the angles. They have to find the kills. Leg Boy down, that's a good pick. That's one you wanted to have. Pacifist in the lead break, try to May off, but that High Noon from Alpha Fade, it doesn't really seem to get anyone because everyone's just behind the shield or behind the gazebo. Balloon does go up and loses the mech. I don't know why, but it did happen. Bomar, I mean, they're just brawling out on the point right now, and this Reaper really is starting to finally get some space to work with. Himeka going around the side, as long as he doesn't get flashed, this is going to be a very dangerous opponent, and it looks like Atlantic Lightning finally being pushed up the point, members falling by the wayside, and yeah, this looks to be the first control.
Yeah, that was a very drawn out fight there. Neither team able to get a solid clear off until about 30 seconds after the point unlocked. I did like that Deadeye from Alpha Faded. It bought the team enough time to get Lake Boy back into the fight, but unfortunately, Burning Blossom just had too good a position on the point and was pumping out more damage than Atlantic Lightning could handle. Both teams will have a lot of ultimate abilities for this next fight here, so I expect a light show.
I expect a light show for sure. There's already the first Blizzard, but it gets eaten by Bomar. The other Blizzard does land, so the lead break will have more success with that. They have a counter self-destruct though, so only pacifists will fall. And there's the Death Blossom from Himeka. Does get Hayden, but does get traded out the life for it. So it's a little bit of a trade. They're not quite there yet, but DPS is missing a lot here for the red side of Burning Blossoms. The flanking Deadeye doesn't get anyone, and actually gives them the life for it, but with the tanks going down, looks like this is going to be the point flip for Atlantic Lightning. Over 50% already up, though. It's a long fight, and they're still stalling.
That's all right. Oh, they're not going to get back in time. Sorry. So yeah, some good stall coming out here from.
It's still going. It's still going. Oh, it goes down. It's over. They had basically won the fight at like 51%. So getting another almost 20%, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's a really good stall there from Burning Blossoms. That supercharger from Lake Boy in the middle of that fight, proving the decisive difference there. That the increased damage they were able to put out was allow them to clean up enough, about half the members of Burning Blossoms. and that's what gave them the positional advantage on the point. And yeah, after that, it was just a matter of cleanup.
Self-destruct being thrown out. Oh, gets 3.
Oh, ho,
They were just
ho.
not in a position to get away from that one. And if you're ready for the Earth Shield to be put down, there's nothing you can do against it. That's another fight one, but it's a quick one. I mean, they're not having a long drawn-out fight in order to get the percentage up. Just one.
Oh, that's just cruel there.
It happens.
Let the poor
It
little
happens to
Eva
the best
die.
of us.
No, good stacker though. Just forcing them to waste a little bit more time, build up themselves a little bit more ultimate percentage. Up to 40%, they're closing in on the Blossoms total. Though they will be very, very difficult to push into the Blizzard and the Coalescence here. Two good ultimate abilities that can do damage over a wide area and make it very difficult to pull through a choke. Although, interesting flank here from Himeka.
Both Coalescences out immediately. A lot of hosing down being done over here. Pacifist gets walled off, frozen up, taken out. It's the High Noon again from Alpha. Gets Himeka this time around. It looks like this is going to have to be another reset, and they have to do it quickly. I mean, if they do it quickly, they might even have 2 more fights, but I think this is going to be the last one next fight.
Yeah, probably, especially given the normal drawn-out nature of fights on Oasis. Oh,
Yeah,
Alpha getting
going
really
deep.
aggressive there.
Yeah. Hey, that's
Oh,
quite
he's able to
getting
get it.
thing.
Oh.
Pacifist. Oh, they both get down. Pacifist with the right clicks, get a kill and a headshot here on Hayden as well. Now they can just storm inside. No way to block anything. Another Blizzard eat from Bomar. Not really having luck with that from Pacifist. They do get 1 kill onto Himeka, but I don't think that's going to be enough. And Delete Break doesn't have the block left, I believe. So this stall's not going to happen. But they're 99% anyway, so not much stalling needed. And this is going to be last fight territory for both teams. 1 fight to decide it all. 1 fight.
Oh, Alpha going down again. So that's 2 fights in a row. Alpha goes down early in places he probably shouldn't get killed. That's what
Not
gave
really
the...
fight yet, though. They're still regrouping.
Well, they're still up to 80%. They've got to get back to the point and get through this choke point.
Yeah, they're just poking around a little bit because obviously they kind of want to wait. Both self-destructs coming out. Oh, they both put them in a bit of a weird position. Himeka thought it was going to go around the corner, but it didn't. So Pacifist and Himeka both down, both DPS falling. Now it's the turn for Atlantic Lightning to come in with the 2-man advantage, and they just storm over them. It's exactly the same thing that happened on the other side. They're just going to win the point with it and the map.
Yes, good use of those ultimates there to clean up that fight convincingly. Just get a team kill in one go, and that'll flip the point back and give them the round and the map.
But that's so odd because both teams lost point control in that same fashion. Atlantic Lightning went a little bit too far forward, got both their DPS picked off, and then they just stormed over, won the fight. And the same thing happened on the other side. Like how does that happen basically? Because obviously it's capitalization of the one team, but how do you get to that place in the first place?
No, I guess as the defending team, you want to make it as hard as you can for the attacking team to get onto the point or onto the objective. So it's a calculated risk. If you defend forward, even if it gives you the opportunity that even if you lose a fight or you're doing badly, you've still got a position to fall back to without giving up the objective. Then, of course, the double-edged sword of if they do overwhelm you there, they're close to their spawns. Even if they lose someone early, they can come straight back in with the reinforcements, or they just run straight over you, and you give up the point for free.
We just see a little bit of flexibility from both teams. I think more so from Burning Blossoms than from Atlantic Lightning. Going into Hollywood, does that make you feel like it's more of a map for one of the teams or the other?
I think this will favor the Atlantic Lightning. In their previous matches, they proved a really strong force on Hollywood, and they've got a great Goats composition or 3-3 composition, particularly with Bomar on that Sombra. I remember the last match I watched, Lake Boy and Bomar went ham using the EMP and in combination with the Ryan and the Ryan Earthshatter to great effect to push through to where they needed to get to.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, we're starting out on point A, of course. Has not been that favorable to the 3-3 lately, in my experience. But
No.
once again, I mean, it always differs, right? Because you can say that, oh, this composition doesn't work there, but then again, we're not playing at a level where every single composition is played out to perfection. So you're only looking at the counterplay. You're also looking at individual and just team mistakes that are a little bit more obvious than when you go to far higher level. So it's and that's nothing against the teams, obviously, but it's just something you have to take into account. Where you can say, normally you can definitely say that a Sombra should just win out against a wrecking ball. You just keep hacking the wrecking ball and you can't do anything. But if you play the Sombra incorrectly or the wrecking ball very well, you can just dodge her all the time, and you just never gets hacked, and then he's free as he wants to do.
Hmm.
Gonna be seeing a Roadhog Orisa defense here.
Yeah, this is yep, and very very bunkery there, especially with Hayden on that Baptiste as well. They'll be able to keep them alive from the dive, and we do see another Arna Goats composition coming in from Burning Blossoms.
Yeah, definitely see that coming in. And for the attack, I think as a default composition, it's pretty nice. Let's see if they're just gonna keep running with it, because it did on University. It didn't really work out for them that well, but potentially they already take a good route of approach, not taking too much poke here. And now they can just start running in on them. Lakeboy already dropping down. Will drop down a fresh shield in a little bit, but that is the last shield one. They can now just run through it, and that's exactly what they're looking to do. Bomar's trying to do something. Salt Lake being frozen up, but they just have so much healing. They can't get him down. Itachi will fall on the other side, and Bomar as well. That pesky Roadhog with a lot of healing and health out of the way is just going to be deleted. Brick and Lakeboy. Oh no. Hayden also alone on that high ground. We're having a little bit of a pause. I think we have a disconnect on the defense here, so that might explain a few things. But other than that, I think that fight was still gonna go the way of Burning Blossoms, anyways. Maybe we don't know at what point the problems start to arise. And maybe Alpha couldn't do any damage that he wanted to do normally, so that's why, for instance, Salt Lake lived. But this fight's gonna go into the favor of Burning Blossoms. I think we can establish that for sure.
Yep. And it was a good rotation for them as well. You don't know what the enemy team is running out with on the fence here. You see a lot of they run a bunkering composition. Maybe they've got the Bastion, maybe they've got the Torb. So going around the outside delies them and not, I guess, provides them a lot of cover. Takes a bit more time, yes, but it provides them a lot of cover. They can approach, not taking much damage, and it gives them a short route to get into the cafe if they want to take the brawl either in the cafe or just directly onto the point.
Getting another pause here.
The hokey pokey here with Alpha faded.
So let's see. It's okay. I mean, we're just gonna keep the point with about a minute drained from the clock. So they're gonna get 2.5. So they should be at about 5.5 minutes by the time this point goes over. Are you expecting to see any changes from either team?
I don't expect Burning Blossoms to change. They've got a lot of ultimates built up. They'll at least go for one or two fights to use those ultimates before they change. I do expect to see some change. Yes, I do expect to see some changes from Atlantic Lightning. They'll probably want to go into a more mirror-like composition. They've seen the Burning Blossoms are running a 3-3. They will want to do the same of their own.
They didn't really have to, though, when we went to University, and we see Adachi going over to the Mercy. So I'm now curious, if they go Mercy, I'm expecting to have a certain DPS pick that works well with Mercy, which could be various.
That I would like to see.
That is definitely something that I'm expecting here, because if Itachi goes over to the Mercy, I'm seeing like a Pharah, maybe a Widowmaker. I mean, Hanzo still could be possible, of course, but definitely not the Zenyatta anymore. So that's a guarantee.
Yes, Itachi was the one. Oh yeah. Actually, I'm just thinking neither teams really showed a Zenyatta in their previous games.
Yeah.
So you could call that out. I've got none of the players listed here have played Zenyatta. Anyway.
Yeah, the notes don't always tell you all the answers, but that's okay. Right now, we're just gonna be looking at. We're just gonna wait for the pause to end. So of course, that's definitely a thing. Like we said, we're expecting maybe 1 or 2 switches to come out. I don't think they're actually gonna switch off this Roto Orisa though, because we've seen it just be so much better than Goats in the like just lately, especially with that May of Delete Break, who's been doing a good job of that. But I don't know. Like it could go either way. For now, though, yeah, I mean, we can look a little bit at what players have been doing well, right? I think Vega has been doing a lot of healing, has been showing a few good anti-nades here and there. But honestly, those 2 blizzards being eaten by Bomar on just on city center, showing up really well on that off tank so far, both the D.Va and the Roadhog. So there's definitely already some players to look out for. There's also some that I really want to see a little bit more of. So let's see if they can show us that when we get the pause back out, and it looks like we're going to continue with the match right here.
Cool. Yeah, so we'll see them finish off the point. And yeah, oh, there you go. Alpha Fader choosing to swap onto the Hanzo here. Get a bit more height. There we go. Delete Brig bringing out the Pharah as well. So you're right. Well, we'll see a pharmacy in operation finally. I do like seeing Pharah raining in rockets from above. It also provides a bit more, I guess, it brings in the third dimension to the fight. Just makes it more interesting.
They're already through they're throwing out the Unification Matrix. Alpha Fader takes down Salt Lake. Passive as a Snappy also falling. I'm feeling swaps coming out now for the attackers because I don't think you're going to be able to run this 3-3 composition against the Pharah Hanzo at this point.
No, you've got nothing to contest that long range damage coming out.
Okay.
I assume this is because
There's something
Hayden's
going on here. I have a feeling we might need to get some subs in, guys, because this is looking very
Oh,
yeah,
he's
this is
gone.
not looking good for Alpha. It's the same player. Anyone not noticing? It's the same player that keeps disconnecting. I don't know exactly what the rule book is of this, but it could very well be that we're going to be looking to get another player in right now because this is at some point you got to just give up, guys. It's not anyone's fault really. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe we don't know what the exact situation is, but gives us a little bit more time to talk about other things. For instance, say you are actually going to LA, you're going to Hollywood. Do you expect it to look anything like this, like the whole movie set type of thing? Like, not obviously the flying car is a little bit different, and like there's a few off things, but I don't know. I do expect it.
I think my expectations are perfectly reasonable. I expect flying cars. That's the image that Hollywood presents of itself. It's a land of imagination. Anything can happen. Well, I can walk through an old style Western city. Like an outback city, and I can walk through a more futuristic style flying limousines. I expect to see constant battles in Hollywood. Walking down Hollywood Boulevard, I expect to see rockets flying through the air.
So you're expecting to basically be in a real life CGI type of deal, which is it's possible. I don't know how Hollywood looks like. I've never been there, but right now it is going to continue the match, and they're sticking with this 3-3. They're close to the Graviton of the self-destruct, and basically every other ultimate they have. But the question is, who are they going to catch with it? They're going to get the value that they want out of those. Hook not lending from Bomar. There's the Nano. There's Bomar just in the grab here. They do get the kills here. The barrage from Delete Break not getting the value that it needs to. And they didn't even have to use a sound barrier from Snappy to defend against that. It was just the rally that was enough, and the shield from Salt Lake to a degree. So nice push here so far.
Yeah, that was a great Graviton surge by Himika, as he pointed out. Allowed them to get the kills they needed. Delete Brig throwing the barrage into that. I'm just repeating what you said. Yeah, so they've given themselves a lot of position. Oh, interesting. Hammer coming down from there for Salt Lake.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, he tries. The shield was put down. He probably didn't see that one coming. But right now, we're just trying to have Delete Break do something here from the sky. He's not getting the damage that they need. He's getting a little bit of poke. And nowhere close to the barrage, obviously. It just looks like they're just going to get the fight, or at least the point win, because there's nothing they can do. Delete Break is trying, but the sustain is just too much.
Yeah, and Atlantic just stuck inside, not able to get out through those doors. The tank's doing a really good job of blocking those doors. Salt Lake just putting his body in the way, swinging his hammer around as well. This will be a very aggressive push in here just to clean up the unfortunate late spawners of Atlantic.
I mean, I guess that Supercharger shows what's going to happen now.
Ah, yes, swaps coming through. There we go. Finally onto the 3-3. The
Sombra goes. As the Sombra goes, actually not the. Oh, Bomar. Another flex pick. Love it.
Yep. A really good part of the map for the 3-3 or the close-in compositions. It's just one big tight space. This is what you want to be. So that's why I see both teams running it.
Tight space, great places for Graviton. He knocked them all up.
Oh!
Kills straight from it, but there is everything from the Shatter afterwards. They get Leg Boy, they get the lead break. No more shields on the point. Young Keloid is just a little bit behind. Got subbed in for Alpha, for anyone wondering why there's suddenly a new player. Right now, the Lucio is trying to stall a little bit. He's doing a good job of it, but is anyone going to make it back to the point? I think they will, but not in the full numbers that they might want to. It is just Lake Boy, and there's the lead break from behind. Tries to go onto Vega. I think Vega's going to be fine. The self-destruct doesn't quite get any kills, but it doesn't really need to if there's only a Lucio and a Zarya on the point. Bomar coming back with the EMP, but who is there to follow up on it? Nobody. That's a great attack here from the Burning Blossoms. And definitely pulling back from that 2-0 on Oasis.
You don't see many teams finish the point all hacked. Yes, a great attack. Just a great. I guess I don't really have any fault in the side of Burning Blossoms there. Just great attacks on point A. Probably perhaps a little bit lucky with Alpha dropping out there, but some just. I don't think they actually were stopped at all, were they? They just pushed the whole way. That was a very quick attack.
Yeah, it was a very quick one. 3 minutes 42. That's just it's almost as much as you normally get on point A, and that's not something you see in time banks often outside of assault maps. And even there, it's become hard nowadays with the changes. Now, what I'm really looking forward to is seeing what the defense is going to be here for the Burning Blossoms, because we saw a Mei Hanzo and then like Orisa Roadhog coming out from Atlantic Lightning, but that didn't quite work out for them. And this is
Oh,
something
I
that
like
we
this.
might have been able to expect, but this is a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
damage. Wow.
Triple DPS comp with 2 turrets. I like this.
Essentially, have 6 members on their team now. This is just wow. 7, sorry. Yeah, the extra one from
Oh yeah,
Balloon's
with the
turret,
turret as
and
well.
yeah, and a balloon can
You
be
know
a
what?
little bit of a free roamer. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with this, but I don't know how they're gonna attack it. But it looks like they think the Sombra Goats is the answer, which it could very well be. I think the EMP in itself can be a very good answer, but my main concern is with balloon, and I think you can tell us why.
Ah, yes. So that turret's going to be very annoying, and they're going to have to. It's going to allow the Burning Blossom to split the focus of Atlantic here. They'll have to take care of the turret as well as rotate around. As Bomar will go in and identify it. He'll be going around the back, looking to make himself a nuisance in the back of this cafe. I'm assuming we will see Atlantic choose to wrap around. They're not wanting to go up Main Street, or they're getting out. Oh, they're going back for swaps.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
they've
gonna
seen
swap
this.
something up.
They've seen this bunker composition.
I'm gonna guess
I
get
see.
Nanoblade. Is it gonna be a Nanoblade? Yes, it's gonna be a Nanoblade.
Oh
It's the
yes.
classic one. You have to go for it. But are they solo tanking Lake Boy? Is that what's gonna happen here?
I'm not sure. I think Young
Looks
is
like
trying to
it.
decide what he wants. They're trying to decide what Young's going to do.
Hmm.
Sitting there in Brig going, what do I play? What do I play?
Bomar going over to the Diva, and then Young goes over to the Sombra. I was gonna say you kind of need that Sombra, but I can also imagine you want a second tank. So this is a good swap up. They just go for the better player on either role. And with Bomar on that Diva, I can imagine what's happening here.
Yep. So we essentially a classic dive composition here. A good counter to the bunker if you can coordinate it well enough to get in. With Young going down early, that push will be
You have to
stalled.
wait.
Very quickly.
You can't do it. You need the hack. You need to hack up either the Baptiste or the Bastion, and they're not going to be able to do anything. So it's just going to be poke and waiting.
And Pacifist just being a nuisance here, just getting some free ult charge off the waiting members of Atlantic.
Ooh, balloon actually goes quite low. So it's dangerous. Just to watch out there. Oh, I mean, Pacifist goes to that barrage already.
Oh.
This first attack, they're gonna come in, but the Immortality Field is out. They do get Hibika with the deflect there from Delete Brig. I don't think they're gonna be able to do much more. The res does get cancelled. Snappy goes down, but the Torbjorn is alive, gets the DMAG, is on the point, does get anti-healed. I think with that dive, they've just gotten it. And that's a little bit surprising, because just a just a natural dive generally doesn't break that bunker that easily. And they haven't broken it quite yet. Salt Lake's still alive with the supercharger, but somehow they managed to get through that. And now they have the Nanoblade. They didn't have to use it to get on the point.
I don't think they'll need it to. Don't think they'll need to clean
They're
up.
back.
Oh, hello.
Hibika just comes to become the Bastion and the Mercy. They just gunned them down. And this is why you need ultimates to take that first point. And they only just come online, the ultimates. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh.
That stall. They hadn't. I didn't even know if we get a tick. I mean, look
What?
at that. Not even
How did
they were because they were only focused on getting everything out of the cafe,
Oh.
and they never got it to the point. There was always someone stalling it. That's amazing. Wow. Now they have the point, but they still don't have the EMP and just a Nanoblade. There's a lot they can do. A balloon throws down that molten core. What are you gonna do with the blade?
Here it goes. Oh, tank form straight down straight away.
Yeah.
There you go.
That they come back to the question because I talked about the molten core coming out, and that's usually what you see happening, right? When you have Torbjorn on the defense.
Yes, he didn't actually choose to use it. Interesting
Okay.
choice there. Maybe just caught by surprise. But yeah, you were right. The Nanoblade there proving to be the decisive factor in breaking that bunker. He hacked straight through the Bastion, even in the ultimate tank form. And that will give them, obviously, their point, and that will allow them to start on point B. think no Lake Boy not opting to change. So this composition is actually pretty good as well for second point. A lot of high ground and a lot of mobility from pretty much all the members of Atlantic here. So they'll be able to make use of the high ground, the low ground, whichever they choose.
So they
Oh,
use
there's a
the
multi-core.
Ultra Core now. It doesn't really get anything. I mean, Himeka gets the kill on the Hayden maybe because of it, but that's an ultimate that maybe could have even helped you hold first. I don't know. But they're gonna clean up this fight. The turret's already doing a lot of damage because it's in a nice spot from Balloon. It looks like this is gonna be another reset. There's gonna be a lot of ultimates though on the attack and not that much on the defense beside the barrage. So it's gonna be a rough one.
Yeah, that's all right though. You're holding the cart very early on, and and most importantly, burning time off that time bank. That'll be the priority here. They know they've got a great
Nice
time bank
self-destruct.
themselves.
They used 2 ultimates together, which normally great combo, but they saw the self-destruct coming so early that no one died from it. They do still get the kills to clean up the fight, but the combo itself didn't really do much for it, I think.
That's all right. At this point, if you have to invest, like you said before, there's a bit. It's not
they
pro
spot
level.
him out.
Ooh.
They spotted out Pacifist.
Ow.
It was hiding for the barrage, but now
Oh.
he might get chased down. I think the healing is there. No.
Oh, not
Pacifist
enough for
down.
Vega.
And they're
not
going
left
aggro
fast enough.
here. But Lake Boy uses that primal. I think he might even get taken down if he's not careful. He's so low. Oh, he gets out.
Smart idea though.
It's just poking. There's not really fights. Another Nano Blade comes
Here we
out,
go.
but he gets hooked in. The Anti-Nade comes in as well, but he gets slept. A lot of free plays here from both on us. It's just Yonkoi taking down Balloon, but there is the Death Blossom. Gets both supports here on the attack. And Himeka online on that Reaper so far. Pulled down the first point on the Bastion, and now he's coming back with the Nano Reaper. I don't think you know what you're going to do with that, because everyone seems to be dead already. Really, Himeka is just, I think it's just an edgy move. You know, you just...
It's just
you finish
flexing.
the fight. Exactly, just flex on them. Flex on them divers.
That's Vega saying, "I've got nano boost on cooldown. I will
Oh, they-
use it whenever I
One more
want."
drops
Oh.
into the trap. That's stagger. Oh.
I love it.
You hate
Oh,
to
the
see it.
Junkrat. Oh, good. Australian Farah. That's what I like to see.
Mhm.
A friendly face on the battlefield.
Yeah, it's definitely doing something here. I don't know how much value they're going to get out of that because the divers will be very mobile, but they can put traps down at places where you just dive in. Maybe that's a thing?
Yeah. Oh, they actually. I like this composition.
Ooh.
They've got. Yeah, they've got the Roadhog hook. They've got the Reaper. They've got the Junkrat. It's gonna be very difficult for Lake Boy or Bomar to jump in and get anything done if they're just gonna be
20
hooked,
seconds.
trapped. There you go. Lake Boy swapping to the emergency wrecking ball.
I mean, he would have gone back with Winston as well, and now we're gonna try this. The lead break very close to another blade, takes down Pacifist already.
Oh,
but
no.
the mines,
They
Yudi
needed the
was
AMP.
underneath it. No, he didn't even
Oh,
go for
no.
that. Young was happened to be at the wrong place at the right time. And it's going to be the lead break also going down to Balloon. No DPS anymore for Atlantic Lightning here. They throw the self-destructive. I don't think it's going to get anyone. No, they hide behind everything they can find. Lake Boy will go down to the Death Blossom. It's going to be the EMP out, but who's really there to follow up on it? It's going to be an Nano Sombra from Young. Maybe they can do a lot of damage, but that Riptire just does a little bit more. It's just Bomar. There's the lead break. We'll have another blade, but is he really going to solo everyone at this point here? He tried, but he failed. It's unfortunate. Atlantic Lightning not getting this one, and Burning Blossoms getting the 1-1 in the series.
So yeah, unfortunate there. They did lose that. They did lose that Sombra at the very end, to the death bombs of the Junkrat as well.
Yeah.
Just to add insult to injury. So that EMP probably could have turned that fight for them, but unfortunately, losing the Sombra early meant they went in a man down. They had to contest, given that overtime was coming up, and yeah, so.
Yeah, that was really a situation of Young Ki being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or the right place at the wrong time, right place, right time, depending on how you look at it. All I know for now, though, guys, we're not gonna give you too much more Overwatch to straight away go in with, because these were some heated maps, so we don't want to just overwhelm you with everything. We want to give you a little bit of breathing space, give us a little bit of breathing space. We'll go to a short break. We'll be back really soon, and yeah, I mean, see you guys on the other side.
Yep.
Welcome back, everyone. It's past halftime now for the Atlantic Lightning and the Burning Blossoms. Still in that first semifinals of the CUNY Crossover Cup. I'm still man of class. I'm still with Temporal here. It's a 1-1, and I mean they both showed very well on either map, but not really. We haven't seen a close map just yet, have we?
No. So, but yeah, both teams picking a map they want to dominate. I'm kind of hoping it keeps going that way throughout the series, so we do get to that map 5. I don't like short series.
I've seen a lot of map fives in not just this one, but also the Overwatch League, of course. So it might just be a meta thing. I don't know what's going on. Going to Volskaya Industry next. Obviously, Atlantic Lightning's pick, so they seem to be confident on this one from their playstyle so far. Why do you think that it went from Volskaya and not from any of the other map?
Atlanta Lightning shows. So not Atlanta Lightning. Sorry, Volskaya. A good classically a Sombra map. I remember when Sombra was first introduced, she made her home here. Probably a little bit fitting that the Sombra short was featured on this map as well. Although from what it looks like, they're going to run out with. Oh no, we're just waiting to
Not
assemble
just
heroes.
yet. Yeah,
Okay.
we're just waiting for the
So
this
map-
here.
this map actually good for a few compositions. We can see a bunker here, which is good. You can set up there's the large health pack on the side of the point there. You can set up a bit more forward as well if you want. So a good defensive map. On the attack, you've also got some options. You can run triple DPS. You can run goats. You can probably run an attacking bunker as well if you're able to be a bit more mobile. So I think a lot of different options for teams, which is I think why the Atlantic Lightning want to go here. Also, given that this map has been in the map pool for so long, a lot of teams are very practiced on it and they're very familiar with it, very comfortable with it.
Yeah. I mean, you're saying it's good for flexibility, so that's why they pick it. But I would say that's more of a reason not to pick it because flexibility hasn't really been their strong suit so far.
Oh, that's a
Um,
good point.
yeah, so we're gonna see them come out with the Sombra goes to the defense here, and I mean, how are they gonna set that up? And mostly, how are they gonna have to attack from the other side?
Oh, I hope this attack is coming true for DPS. That'd be the dream.
Possible.
Oh, damn you,
It's gonna be
Snappy.
3. Yeah. So Summer goes to
Right.
defense, right? I mean, I guess they're not gonna bunker up that much, but they're gonna use that big health pack room to their advantage, I'd say.
Yep. Yeah, getting health back control here is good. You've got a great place to retreat to. The triple DPS composition. This hopefully be fun. And typically, triple DPS competitions, if you can coordinate it well, are good at countering goats. You can just overwhelm them from all sides. The goats team has to be together, has to be on the point. If you can just overwhelm them, get a lucky pick. Not like that.
Balloon a little bit too deep, but it happens sometimes, right? You get break down. Salt Lake does manage to get away, not from off the cliff, and they've got them in this bunker now. Just poking away, trying to get that power ult up, but not that much ult charge being acquired for all those rocks that have already been come out. There's a few percent now coming on for Pacifist, but he is up on the ground. Salt Lake, that's not the one you wanted to have gone. Although, not the one doing the most damage, mostly the displacement one. But with Alpha just getting 2 kills and Bomer falling off with a Pacifist, I think this attack is a little bit over now. Although they're still trying. Himeka is trying to get those shots out.
It'd be very embarrassing for Mika to get out sniped by a Zarya ball there. But that's what happens.
Ooh!
Oh,
Actually,
and
they
revenge.
found Alpha there, and that's a good one because that's a lot of extra shielding gone now, and they're not gonna be able to res that up.
No, yes. So running no mercy on the defense, that's I guess one disadvantage of the Ghost composition. You do lose a member, even if you win the fight, you can't res that member up. You've got to wait for them to run back, and it gives the attacking team time to push in, as they're doing now.
Bomar's ready for the EMP. I don't know if they're going to throw that out really quickly, because who are they going to really EMP here? Like, they might want to get the pharmacy, but for now, it's just Salt Lake in there. They get the first stick for free because they just pushed him in there. Lake Boy was hacked up, and they're going to go in deeper as well. The Wrecking Ball wasn't hacked up because he was inside of the bunker at that point. Itachi goes down to Himeka. Nice headshot there. Lake Boy does get Vega out, but with only Vega and Balloon going down, that's not necessarily the ones you're missing, especially with snapping getting that res off. Nice barrage from Pacifist. Gets Alpha just as Alpha come back. Hayden on the Lucio tries to do the work. Pacifist has gone down here, and they have shields up now, so it's going to be very hard. Hayden putting pressure on that sniper, but right now, I mean, you're not going to get the kill. It's just a little bit of disruption. and Himeka gets another free sightline there. Maybe gets the break, maybe gets the Lucio, not so much. And they're just running around. They're just still poking around on this Goats composition. If they wait too long, everyone's just gonna be back. They finally get the Lucio, they get the Sombra again. It looks like this is finally the time for them to really go and get them. But that Ana just in the bunker behind them will finally get taken out. The Shatter on the Snappy, finally getting that pesky Mercy. But if it's only you, your Zarya and your Ana, I don't think you're gonna be able to do much, because even if you get that grab up Alpha, you're not gonna solo grab that team and kill them all. That's just not gonna happen. So the first point gonna go over to the Burning Blossoms here.
No, a very scrappy fight there, but just having those 3 DPS, being able to dance around, eventually you will get the job done. A lot of a lot of damage coming in from all sides. You're gonna get the job done. And the later capture the point.
EMP's ready. And Bomar goes down. That's such a nice pick to get. No Sombra to hack anyone. That EMP could be very big from Balloon. Did get forced out a little bit. Snappy in the grab. The solo grab on the Mercy. That's the one person you cannot res. Salt Lick in there with the mines, but also goes down. And that push that was looking so good with that first kill on the Bomar has just been stifled.
Yeah, I'm hoping we at least see a swap from Salt Lick here, because that was an interesting investing of the mines, and no, he's not going to swap. So an interesting use of the mines there. I don't know what Snappy was doing there, being the only member on the point. I think they were expecting Balloon to have used the EMP, but unfortunately he got spotted out and burst down, so he translocated out before the fight even started. And now it'll be a battle of EMPs here.
Alpha is on the Widow now. Because that's taken down by Himeka, but it's to count is the EMP versus the EMP. They do seem to trade out a little bit better on the attack though, but they need to keep doing it because respawns or Bandage are there for the defense. Pacifist throwing out the rockets with that Nano Pharah, and they're on the point. They're gonna get one tick. Can they get more? It's just the Lucio trying to run around back to the point. We'll finally get there. The Nano Pharah didn't do much. Actually, Lucio taking out Himeka on that Widowmaker. Alpha Faded will also just go down to Wrecking Ball. So the Widows aren't any part of this fight. There's the Mirage. We'll blow themselves up there. There's a counter barrage from Delete Break. Gets Snappy after the res on the Pacifist came in. As the Farmers see the defense now, and they're just trying to sort of mirror this attacking composition and doing it a little bit better. So yeah, it's going to be another push stifle, but they did get some percentage, and that could go big in the long run.
Yep. Yes, any percentage is a good percentage. They've at least got one tick, so that. What are you doing, Himeka?
I thought I saw the Australian Pharah coming back in, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be.
One day Junkrat will be meta again.
Bomar's on the Roadhog now though, and the Lake Boy on the Orisa, so that's a little bit harder to attack with. It's the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, that'll make his life hell. Actually, it'll probably make life a bit easier against Himeka as well. Obviously, recognizing him as a threat, having the extra shield, the extra HP there on those tanks will make life a bit easier.
I don't think this push is gonna go long. They're already trying to find an angle to get in here, but they're not really doing much. I mean, both Mercies are out, but so is Pacifist, and that cannot be rezzed up. Balloon is just trying to get that EMP up. It's at 90%. Himeka gets to kill on the Alpha, but it's not really a fight. It's just picks and poking. There's not much happening here, and it's just the Wrecking Ball being surrounded by the tanks. I mean, it's just, and Hayden just counter sniping, sort of. Himeka, it's an odd one. Like, are they gonna group up again, or I don't know what's happening here, man.
This is very uncoordinated here. Himeka's doing a great job on the Widow. He's getting a lot of picks, but unfortunately the rest of his team just isn't able to follow it up. They're losing members of their own and just essentially handing over ult charge.
Oh, Salt gets Alpha straight away, just making sure that Pharah can now get in for free. That's exactly what's happening. The EMP is already out on both the tanks. The Nano Barrage might come in, but he didn't really have it online yet, so just going to be Snappy taken down. That's a big pick. That's the one you really wanted. Itachi manages to get the res back on the lead break as well. That looks to be another push stifle because they just couldn't follow up on those tanks.
Yep. Although they're getting some kills back, actually. Bomar and Pacifist going mano a mano on the point. They will start getting more. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Blues defending on an idiot.
They just win. I mean, that's
so, yeah,
kind of what the fight was going for. They get the res of the Himeka here, and think they feel like they might have had to. But
yeah, they've only got 10 seconds left. They've got to go in.
Is it just a reluctance to swap that's been happening here, or is it more than that?
I think it's a little bit of that. It's very difficult to be run the triple DPS into this, especially that Pharmacy. You're playing against Alpha Faded. He is getting a bit dominated by him. Oh,
Pacifist
As
does
I
get
say
Lake
that.
Boy here, but that's not going to be enough. Just the main tank. It's going to be the mines coming in here from Salt Lake, but just the Hammond and his minefield will not get you that Volskaya point. Yeah, it was a good defense. They did get 57.5% there. I think it got like the extra percent in that last push. I actually think there was a back cap from the Sombra, but
Ah,
yeah, I mean it's like one extra percent, so it might be big, but not getting the second point is not something we see happening that often anymore these days. So could be a very rough Volskaya map here for the side of the Burning Blossom.
and I think it was perhaps a bit silly to keep running that triple DPS composition. The changes from Atlantic were very heavy on the, I guess, burst damage heroes. They had the Widow, they had the Roadhog, or they had the whole combination as well. Which is very good at isolating a hero, taking someone down, taking one member down, taking two members down of the attacking team, and just stalling out fights. Stalling out pushes,
Yeah.
which is what we saw. Blossom not really able to make any progress aside from that one good push. I think maybe perhaps they should have changed a bit earlier, or should have made changes at all. But we'll see what they can do in defense.
I mean, the main thing, right, is that you're running into this composition that has like bigger bodies, has a decent amount of sustain, and you're running into that with a lot of squishy heroes. That yes, they're mobile, yes, they do a lot of DPS, but as soon as you lose one, you also lose about 20% of your potential. So
Yeah,
that every single time that happens, and the defense doesn't really have that problem because they both have the respawns and they have the sustain. If you can't sustain your attack in any way, but just do a lot of damage, which you're not currently doing enough of, then it's maybe time to swap things up. They're gonna go over to this goats on their own on their own defense though. The Ana goats, not the Sombra goats.
uh, that's all right. And we see one, two, three, yeah, triple DPS coming out from the attacking. So both teams choosing to use
Nice.
triple DPS on attack.
Pretty popular, but Lake Boy on the Winston, not on the Wrecking Ball here, and that's an interesting
That's
idea
an interesting
to
pick,
run.
yeah.
That, 'cause he's
Unless
little
they're
bit less
expecting a Sombra on
sustainable.
defense.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Pacifist a little bit of pressure here, and they're poking heavily already, but not as much. Delete Break doing a little bit more than Pacifist did, but they're just running out, going at it, take down Hayden, but so does Salt Lake fall. And Lucio for the Reinhardt, I'll take that trade any day of the week. Bomar and Snappy both going down as well, but I mean, they're still trading, and the attackers have a little bit of respawn advantage. Himeka and Pacifist are pulling back a few kills, though. So with just Lake Boy there and still Pacifist on the heal, I think they're going to be able to sustain this defense so far. It's just Hayden. And I mean, the Mercy and the Winston, they might be sustainable, but they're not going to be able to get those kills.
Yeah, a good start there from Atlantic on attack, but yeah, unfortunately, you've already said that. Yeah, just not able to clean up the kills they needed to finish off the point, and they are forced to retreat as Salt Lake goes in very aggressively. Spotted out Bomar.
I mean, goes very far, but doesn't really lose a lot of health. So just Bomar going very low. There's the Nano Reinhardt,
Yes.
and that aggression's gonna continue. Salt Lake going in deep. They want to get this Winston, and they're probably gonna get him, even though he throws it the Primal Rage. I don't really know what that's gonna do for him. He does take down Vega, and Snappy's
Oh.
also fallen. All of the support's down now from the defense, and that is escalated very quickly, maybe a little bit quicker than they wanted. And I mean, this fight's basically over. They're gonna clean up the kills. So what happened here?
I think the defending team was a bit too aggressive. They saw an opportunity. They saw the Sombra out of position, the Winston out of position. They thought, oh, we can have this, but perhaps not realizing that Lake Boy had his primal rage up and that he would get those kills that he did. So that I think they're a little bit of handing over the point. They're playing too aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely happen there. And it's also a lot of, if you go in aggressive, what's going to happen to the team that's the part of your team that doesn't or cannot follow. And that was a bit problematic. And they're going to swap over Salt Lake to the Winston now, the defense. They're going to go for a dive goat, floats, if you will. And the EMP is going to be the big deal. EMP barrage, yeah. Oh, they actually
Grav
confirmation already with the Grav. That's huge. Hayden already down. There's a lot of healing gone to Leaping. Will from the barrage will only get balloon with that one. They do get the res onto Hayden, but that's already the barrage gone. That is just at the EMP. And they're going to be able to get kills with that. Yes, they get Himeka and Pacifist straight away. Those are really ones you want. Vega looking to go down here as well. No, the nade and the Lucio heals might keep the Ana alive for a little bit longer, but that percentage is going to start ticking up. The self-destruct is already there for balloon. They don't quite get the kill on the Mercy. That does mean that the percentage doesn't keep ticking. Balloon gets hacked. We'll get DMAC pretty soon as well. That rally from Pacifist is going to be problematic to deal with because it really needs some more damage. But the lead break being nano is going to deliver just that. Another barrage comes out, and it looks like there's not going to be that much more. There's going to be a little bit more stall. I don't think they're going to be able to get back into it. But let's see what happens here. Snappy and Vega, they tried very hard, but they didn't even get that far. So in the end, that's not going to really matter. Atlantic Lightning taking map 3. It's going to be a 2-1 in this series so far. But again, it's their map pick. And we've seen a pretty dominating performance for them. We've seen that happening from Hollywood, from the Burning Blossoms. So going over to their map pick now, that could be the exact same story.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, and Delete Brig, deservedly so with the play of the game here. He had built up, I think, 2 barrage. He had started out that fight with a barrage and was able to finish it off as well, doing really good work on that Pharah. I'm wondering if Blossoms maybe should have swapped Himika back onto the Widow at some point. He was doing a lot of good work, and it makes it much harder for a Pharmercy to push into that second point.
Ready. That graph almost
that's a good point. Sorry.
So I think that's why they didn't.
And just not enough time to change after that. Yeah. So you're right. He's the Widow plus.
It's that's kind of the reason. But it's one of those things, right? I think defense wasn't even that bad. I think they definitely did well on point A, maybe not so much on point B. That was mostly because they messed up on point A in the end. So they just had that old snowball, so you can't really fault them for losing to an EMP barrage. I think that's just something that happens. But yeah, their attack. I think we pointed out the problems with their attack. I think that's where they lost most of that map, not so much in the defense. I think we're gonna go over to Dorado now, and I want to say that if we're gonna go over to longer range fights, like the longer range fights there are, especially with snipers, I would give the edge to Burning Blossoms right now.
So would I. Himika has proved himself to be a really good Widow. And Pacifist as well. Pacifist as well could say a combination of Himika on the Widow, maybe Pacifist on the Pharah. Really good long range damage from both heroes. They could prove to be very difficult for Atlantic Lightning to deal with.
We haven't seen that much Pharah on Dorado aside from point A though, so I would definitely say that Pacifist would have to go over to another hero, and haven't seen him on anything else than the Pharah or the so it's been the Pharah, the Brig, and the May. So
a little
far,
bit of
I'm
Junkrat,
sure.
I think, on Hollywood.
Oh yeah, I believe a Junkrat. I mean, Junkrat can work on Dorado, especially on defense. You just throw mines continuously to that choke, you at least block out one angle of attack very actively. It's possible,
and if you can trap the opportune Sombra spots as well, you may be able to get lucky and trap the hack Sombra as well. So he tries to come through if that's what the Atlantic Lightning.
It's interesting though, right? Because while Dorado is technically Sombra's home map, or at least it's in her home country, I'm not that convinced that Sombra is that great of a pick on this map.
No, just it's a bit too tight at times. The second point is a bit better because you've got a bit more variety in the paths you can take. But yeah, teams tend not to run it. They like to either have characters that can be, well, not Sombra characters. So the first and third points, it's a lot more enclosed, a lot more choky. Second point, you want a bit more verticality. Sombra can provide that, but it's just, I don't know. It's nothing really bad against Sombra. It's just there are other heroes that are better.
Though. Like it's so far away, especially on the second point, that like the sightlines are so long that you just see the enemy team coming. If they want to start following up an EMP, you kind of know that they're going to do that because they're just coming at you and they don't have anything, and then the summer will just drop on you. I don't know. It's just it doesn't feel like a proper summer map, but who knows? Maybe we can see something happening here. The main thing I know about Dorado is that, you know, for anyone who hasn't read the proper articles by the definitely fair media, this is not a corrupt nation, not a corrupt city whatsoever. They produce very fair light electricity to everyone. It's free. I mean, look at all those pyramids. They look beautiful architecturally, aesthetically. They're pleasing. It's just good. I love it. I love Dorado. I wish I could live there one day. That's going to be my goal.
Especially good if you love Pinata as well. Plenty of them to smack around. I know. I try and make a note of hitting them all out of smashing them all if I'm ever playing on this map. If you don't do it,
Yeah, so I mean, the main thing about piñatas are there's like always candy coming out of them, and there's a lot of people that are just like a lot of against sugar nowadays. So I don't know how well that's gonna fare into the future, and what else would you put into piñata? That's like the main question everyone's got to ponder at home. Meanwhile,
Solar
though, I
panels.
think the attackers are gonna be pondering about what composition they gotta run, but the defenders don't have to because they're already set up and they have to be.
And they're choosing to go with a bunker composition. They've got Alpha back on the Widow and Delete Brig on the May. The May will be really good here. Lots of tight choke points that the attacking team has to come through. If you can get a well-placed wall, you can split up the members of the attacking team. Well, that looks like they're going to choose to run a May of their own, as
That's
well
gonna
as
be
Himika on
Himeka
that
on the
Reaper.
Reaper for now, but they might swap that over later on. It's going to be a little bit more long range versus short range. They're basically mirrored except for that Widowmaker. And where's she going to really get shots in with all that shield in the way?
Yeah, it can be very difficult for Alpha to get much done unless he can get a good flank on. Oh, Bomar's hooked in straight away.
Himeka is teleporting up to the Widowmaker, goes straight into her face, takes her out straight away. And I mean, you can be French, but you cannot be better than an Edgelord Reaper. It's going to be great. Hayden is trying to boop them a little bit backwards, but without that Widowmaker and with the Reaper on the field, he's going to be able to do so much damage. Himeka going for another one. Pacifist does get frozen up here by Delete Break, but Himeka is on a tear. Has already got the third kill of this fight. If Himeka's the only one getting on the kill feed here, I'm going to be amazed. I want to see that 6k come out. Come on, Himeka. That's a fourth. It's a fourth. Let's go to the next one. Come on. Come on, Himeka. You can do it. They're just having a wall up. You'll be fine after that. Just walk up to the wall. Okay, they ran away. But he's the only one getting final lows in that fight. That's amazing. At least from their side of the team. Bomar getting hooked in. They're just going to continue this tear, but the wall saves everyone. So it looks like this cart going to start rolling a little bit. But that was a very quick point A.
Yeah, and great work from Himika. They're getting into the right positions to do what he needed to do. That early kill on Alpha was really good, and they've also forced him to swap the Hanzo, which is probably a good pick against this team. You want a bit more spam with a little less worry about clean sight lines.
Very
So Blizzard
early
is invested with Delete
already.
Brig.
Yeah, but do they actually freeze anyone? I don't think they do, and it's just going to be Snappy and Himeka taking down their counterparts, really, in the shotgun and Lucio department. Himeka going deep with the death wall, so gets everyone. Himeka on the tear. I don't know what I was thinking. Himeka on the Widowmaker. You don't need it. You just send him in. Send him in on the Reaper. It's going to be fine. You don't need range. As long as you get close to them, you just shotgun them in the face.
Yep. So at least, I guess the advantage of losing that fight pretty early is it means that Atlantic will get another fight here at the end of Point B. They will open up with the Dragon and the Supercharger.
Passive is ready for that Blizzard, though, and I think it's going to come out pretty soon. The nice wall to shut down half of the team, really. It's going to be Lake Point already down. There's the Blizzard to follow it up. Not eaten this time by Bomar, although the attempt was there. Hayden's frozen up, gets taken out. The checkpoint's already been taken, and now they can just clean up this fight while they get the checkpoint away, because it usually takes 10 seconds. So if you just take 10 seconds to clean up the fight, start rolling the car already, and it goes there straight away while the last kill falls.
Yeah, and Burning Blossom's just able to put out a lot of damage here. They've just, I think they've got Atlantic's number. Atlantic doesn't really know what to do against it.
They're going to mirror it. I mean, they have to now. And now the ultimates are a little bit even, though, especially with the Delete Breaks frozen.
Blizzard about to come online,
here. Yeah.
Like we saw what he did the first time. We'll have to see if he can make better use of it this time.
Maybe. I know its potential is definitely there. But Himeka's got another death blossom, so they got to be careful. Oh, Hayden already down here. Bomar still on that D.Va, like you said, not on the Roadhog, so can definitely eat a Blizzard. But the Leap Brick still not throwing it out. Lake Boy going down. They throw in the Blizzard after that Orisa falls, and how are they going to attack now? Because no one's frozen. Everyone's safe. Alpha Faded goes down here, and it looks like Pacific is going around the flank already. Himeka is not there right now because they got killed like at the beginning of the fight, but going to be a very aggressive May in Pacifist, not being so pacifistic today. Oh, Hayden tried to go over the outside, but who's really going to stall this? It's a good wall, but there's a Lucio on the cart still, so he's going to at least make sure that they can get back behind the wall. Bomar frozen up. There's the Death Blossom. The Thunderstroke does come out, but who's really going to follow up on that? No kills from it. Alpha Fade and Lake Boy in the thick of things, but there's just more kills. Another Blizzard, and they're not going to stop this cart whatsoever. 4 minutes more. They add to their time bank, guys. You start with 4 minutes, so 4 seconds above that.
Absolute domination there from Burning Blossoms. Atlantic not able to put up any real defensive fight there. So a great work from him, Mika. Lots of aggression there, and well supported by the rest of his team. That they're able to make life hell for Atlantic.
I mean, they definitely will. I mean, even if Atlantic finishes this map, I find it hard to believe they're going to do it in the same fashion. Because 4 minutes
No.
more, it just that might be a record-breaking time for my entire Overwatch casting career so far. That's insane. I've seen some stomps in the Dorado, but this is just heavy, and it's kind of in keeping with the tone we've seen so far. So both teams pick maps, and they just do very well on the map they picked.
Hmm.
I'm not surprised whatsoever. Now, are we going to see Pacifist on the junk of the defense? It's a possibility, but I think it's going to be the May.
Yeah. I think they like this composition. They know it works well on this map, and they've just proven it then. And Himeka, I guess, wanting everyone to feel how he feels, just sad and alone.
Yeah.
And May Reaper is a good combination to enforce that. So yeah, I like the combination of May and Reaper. We've started seeing it a fair bit now in the competitive play. I like, yeah, it's just a nice combination. Having May slow and freeze targets, and Reaper can just then farm. He can farm his own health, farm damage off that. So yeah, not so good against range. But then a lot of teams, I say that a lot of teams not wanting to run range. But
Close here. They might actually do the red household, where you basically say, you know what, if you want to move the cart, you're gonna have to get us out of here. And I mean, all they have to do is buy time. They don't even have to win. They don't have to full defend. As long as they just buy time until under like 2 minutes or so, they're still looking good. They already lose Balloon early though. That's not gonna be good. And with that, they're gonna have trouble getting picks with that Pharah Widowmaker, but they're still trying. Pacifist also down. It's already 2 fallen here on the defense, but they're still stalling the cart. All they're doing is buying time here, and they're buying a lot of it as well. Already 30 seconds down. Bomar actually falling to Himeka, because who can kill a Reaper in this meta? It's just insane. Gets another one to hate it. Tries to go for Lake Boy as well, but will he even take it down? Finally, Himeka falls because there's no other team members. But they basically had to kill his entire team and then kill the Reaper. That's how bad it is right now. Balloon is back, but is a little bit lonely, so really needs to start getting back to the team in order to stay alive. And at least they get the cart moving, but that's already a minute down.
Yeah, so I like that. I like the play from both teams there. The aggressive hold's a good idea. I think Atlantic getting a bit lucky that they rolled out on the pharmacy to begin with. I noticed that Delete Brig threw in a concussion blast at the start of the fight, which is what put the members of Blossom out of position in the first place, so they could start getting the picks they needed.
Leg Boy down, Bomar hooked in. Who's really going to defend it? Delete Brig trying with the barrage, but it's only Alpha Faded popping up in the kill feed. They're actually trading out a little bit. They can get the resin on their Pharah, not on their Orisa. That's interesting. Maybe it was a little bit too late. But there's Bomar with the Nano Hog. That's a scary proposition if you want to throw that into anyone's face, because it's not going to be a Reaper there right now. Himeka has gone onto the Widowmaker to defend against this Pharmacy, and right now the Leap Break is just popping off because Himeka is not there. Himeka finally showing up to the fight, but a little bit late. Only gets Idachi, and now the Leap Break needs to be taken out before Himeka gets taken out themselves. The Leap Break goes behind the gate, takes down the Widowmaker. It looks like this will pretty soon be point A, but they stalled it out. There's about 2 minutes, and getting to that 4-minute time bank, that's going to be very hard when you've already been stalled out for 2 minutes on point A.
Yeah. So there, a good point A, an all right point A there from Atlantic. I mean, they finished obviously, but some good work there from Alpha Faded. Obviously, being enough of a nuisance, they decide that Burning Blossoms decided they want Himeka to counter him on the Widow of their own. He's already built up to that wall hacks as well.
Oh,
what ultimates
nice one. Wall hacks from Himeka definitely helping to get that kill on Alpha. Alpha does get rezzed up here, but Himeka already gets the leap break, so he can only res one per fight for 30 seconds at least. Himeka under a barrage of SMG bullets from Alpha, but will live, goes back up, gets the kill on Alpha. That's what you like to see. Meanwhile, on the front line, supercharges are out. The damage is being done, but Bomar, you cannot hook someone who's being fortified and just elegantly flies through the air. They try to get that Widow of the high ground, but it's not working. It's just Himeka doing the solo duty of basically dealing with both DPS and the Mercy. It's insane.
And so good use of ultimates there from the defending team, able to push. They've almost pushed the cart back through the gate. So the attacking team is coming out with a lot of ultimate abilities of their own. That barrage and the whole hog especially. With Dashi going down though, that's going to make life very difficult.
Yeah, especially with Hayden also falling. No more healing right now. I think they're just going to push through the gate and trying to get what they can get. And then DPS is running back to spawn. They don't want to deal with any of that. Blake Boy gets pulled to the side. We'll get the shield up in time. But Bomar, I mean, they're trying to get aggressive with this, but they don't really have the numbers to do it. Both wall hacks are out. And now the fight's really going to ensue. Who's going to go where? Because they have to go through a choke. They didn't have a choke to go through, and they just created a new one. It's actually looking really good here for the defense. Nice nano barrage though. Bomar somehow gets both mass blows on that. I don't know how that happened. Himeka does take down the lead break, but it was a little bit late. It's just going to be the solo Widowmaker surviving that fight. And oh, Snap is still the payload. See, even if they lose the fight, they're still stalling out.
Hmm. Oh, and I'm sure there'll be some interesting conversations after the match about Bomar stealing all of Delete Brig's kills, but
Yeah,
that's for after the match. They're setting up in a very forward position here. They've got still got that whole hog, which will be a good, maybe pretty good here to stop the defending team coming out of a choke point if they can get Bomar into position to use it.
definitely with the shield battle with that. Alpha is now already on a flank, had taken down Himeka, so it has a free sightline whatsoever. Snappy going up aggressively, but it gets taken down, but Elite Break feeling well for their Widowmaker, and they're just going to continue. The DPS tearing up the tanks, tearing up the supports, tearing up the other DPS. It's yeah, it's just Alpha and Delete Break getting all the final blows in that one. So maybe a little bit of a reconciliation for that past one where Broma stole a few.
Yeah, and that supercharger doing a lot of work there to enhance the damage of those DPS to get those kills. They will finish off. Yeah, so they're already in a lesser time bank than Burning Blossom's able to finish with, but importantly, they've got 3 minutes to push through point C. So Bomar's still holding on to this whole hog.
All the time being bought, it's going to be hard for them to do, though. There's another nice coalescence from Vega. Goes in very aggressively with that, using it as a DPS ultimate almost. A nice Blizzard comes out, but there's no follow-up. They do take out the barrage from the lead break already. And with the whole hog as well being invested, that's a good trade you're willing to make. Is the lead break going to stay on this Pharah, though? That's the main question. It looks like they are.
At least until they die. So we see Pacifist swap over onto the Hanzo here, so looking for a double sniper comp indoors. I wonder if that's the best idea, but... Oh, interesting Valkyrie coming out from Itachi as well.
They're looking for more pressure onto the DPS, and it looks like Himeka already finding two nice flanks from that Widowmaker. You gotta watch your flanks, guys. It's a good lesson to learn. They do get the res onto Alpha here, but I don't think that's gonna be enough to pull this one back, because without the Ana, so much healing gone. Alpha's back killing the DPS though, so maybe you don't need the healing if there's no DPS to be done on your team. Alpha gets Balloon as well. Alpha's on fire right now, but Himeka's back on the Reaper. Goes to the high ground straight away. The Raj does come out, and Himeka doesn't really live there, but they're still buying time. 1 minute 40. I think they're gonna get it here, but it's about 1 minute 30, and I don't think that's gonna be a very nice thing for them to do, because it took a while to take point A, and they do complete it here, but 1 minute 30 is definitely not the same as 4 minutes 4.
No, definitely not. I think 4 minutes 4 is more than you start with, for Pete's sake. I think that actually that means they managed to push the map in under 4 minutes as well. So
yeah, it does. You get 2.5 minutes and 1.5 minute respectively.
It's
for
8
both
minutes
points.
total, isn't it? Yeah,
8 minutes total. So yeah, they managed to push the whole map in 3 minutes 56 last time around. So they could do the whole thing again without actually needing like extra bonus time, and then still have 8 seconds to spare, guys. That's you know what? It's possible. But I'm thinking there's going to be a little bit of a different defense this time around. They're already putting out the Widowmaker and the Fire for the attack again, but Himeka starting out on the Widow straight away. So it's going to be harder for him to push out a spawn with that this time, I think.
That's all right. I don't blame them. They're both Widows. I mean, both Widows are doing a fantastic job inside on point C, which is a place you don't normally see them.
Nope.
So perhaps both teams realizing that, hey, it's not, it's maybe it's not the meta pick, but it is the right pick for their teams.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, why try and fix it? Also, they were obviously still alive, so they just kept pushing with what they had, because you don't want to run all the way back to spawn and then switch, and then so it's understandable they did it, but it's gonna be a lot harder to run this far, like I said. Oh, we're gonna run the Hanzo instead, I think. No, the Forest does come out. It does come out. They waited in spawn for a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So how are they gonna attack this now with that Pharah? They're trying to get people off the high ground with a concussion blast, but that didn't work. Yeah.
Well, let's force the rotation to the choke point already.
They do have Balloon training down Bomar, but it's not really working out that well. Himeka under all that pressure already tries to grapple away, gets back to the team. Nice anti-nade there from Hayden. That might do a little bit of damage, but the choke is still protected pretty well. The lead break gets the kill on the pacifist, but Hayden also falls. It's a little bit of a trade back and forth, but Bomar is a little bit more important one. Alpha's on the flank, is already in there. Himeka has spotted them out, but it's going to be the pull from Salt Lake getting Alpha back in there. Salt like going a little bit far away from the team. It's gonna be Balloon alone, and they're getting split up, taken out, torn apart. 35 seconds on the clock, and the cart looks like it's gonna be moving to at least towards A.
Yeah, a much better start from Atlantic here. Probably helped by the fact that Burning Blossoms didn't choose to go for a close spawn. They did scout that out, but they will capture point A. So a much better attack this time around than last time. They will be in overtime for the rest of the point, but capturing the first point with only a minute and a half in your time back is a really good start from an attacking team. Although Alpha Faded does go down first on a wild flank.
Yeah, it's a good pick. And also Lake Boy being down. Himeka says, you know what? I've had enough of your shenanigans. I'm the better Widowmaker here. Delete goes for the flank on the Pharah. I was already behind them, but Himeka manages to grapple away. And you need to be on the point. You want to sustain this. It's going to be the rush from Delete gets 2, but they need to get a little bit more. It looks like they are getting a little bit more. Alpha's back on the Reaper now. Is doing a lot of damage. Bomar on that Roadhog is also still alive. And with Snappy going down, only Vega left. And of course, the Himeka in the back line. They pulled that back because it was looking like it was going to go in the favor of Burning Blossoms.
Yeah, that barrage coming out from Delete Brig is surprisingly not dying as Pharah during a barrage, which is surprising in itself, but they're able to get the 2 kills, really evened up the fight. They're on the point, and with the attacking spawn now so close that because they captured point A, they're able to get the right reinforcements back in time. Alpha coming back on that Reaper was able to put out a lot of damage on the remaining members of Burning Blossoms. Oh,
already taking down Salt Lake straight away, and this snowball is happening once again. Snappy does get the res on that, and the lead break is getting taken down. I don't think the res is there for the attackers. Nice Blizzard on the cart there. Maybe a little bit too far forward, but Bomar still frozen up. Will probably get taken out here with just Lake Boy and the Mercy there. I don't think they're going to be able to push any further. So 74.70 meters into B is where this cart is going to stop.
Yeah, a good well-placed Blizzard there from Pacifist. They put it on the cart, and given that the Atlantic team was in overtime, they had to stay on the cart, so they had no choice but to stay and get frozen, and that's what allowed Burning Blossoms to clean it up. Still, an impressive push there. 1.5 points is a pretty solid effort. But interesting to see
a solid effort. I mean, they did have the time in order to get there, and obviously they did have a little bit of momentum going out. But you know, Burning Blossoms, they can fail about 7 fights and still, you know, do okay. So there's a lot of momentum that they don't necessarily need, but we've seen their last attack. They did very well on it, and it's mostly going to be about the adaptations of the defense if they're going to be able to do the same thing around here. Snappy, I don't think you're going to stick on the Pharah here, but it would be cool to see. The solo heal from Vega, though, only on the Moira, that's a little bit more questionable in that case.
Snappy, obviously, spending enough time healing Pharahs that he feels, you know what, might as well just join them, see why they have so much fun.
I know, right? It's you know how the Pharah plays because you usually fly around with it. But yeah, they're gonna go with the same thing they did last time. I like this Reaper May composition. They're giving a lot of space to just shoot from range, but with those shields up, I think it's gonna be very hard for Lead Break and Alpha Fed really to get that damage in.
Yeah, especially with Bomar on the D.Va instead of the Roadhog as well. There's a lot of that's a lot of shield pressure sacrificed. I'm not sure what they're wanting Bomar on the D.Va for. If they're expecting, maybe they're expecting a May or a Reaper on that.
Just for anything really. It's eating the Blizzard. It's eating shots from Himeka, eating halts. There's a lot you can do with it, but like you said, the halt hook is so good that do you really want to give that up in order to maybe counter some? Because you don't have the May wall to do it. They're in the choke right now, so Bomar already hooked, and there's like the D.Va. Yes, you get out, but you already, you know, give them so much ult charge to do everything else. Pacifist and Himeka putting up the frontline pressure. Pacifist just running forward with that block aggressively. Delete Break gets hooked in. They do save him from the hook initially, but still goes down because there's just too much damage. You only have 2 seconds of the Vent Matrix. Bomar on the card as the mini D.Va. Hayden as well. Once again, trying to stall that out on the Ana, but this is all falling apart straight here from Atlantic Lightning. They had a good plan. They thought they could execute it, but they just get executed instead.
Yeah, they were very close. Delete Brig got very close to a Dragon there, which would have been very good at pushing Burning Blossoms off the cart, but unfortunately, he did get picked out at the start, and just the rest of his team fell. So they'll have to put up a Well, an amazing
Oh,
second point defense here.
another beautiful halt hook combo, but Alpha's now back on the Reaper. Just getting taken out by the counterpart of Himika, but so does Salt Lake Fall. And now they have to still get through here without a shield of their own. Idachi goes a little bit deep with that Mercy, was maybe doubting about a res, but doesn't really do anything with it. Bomar, nanoed, frozen, shotgun in the face. Snappy gets the final blow on that one. Just going to be the Ana and the Mercy flying around the high ground. What are they really going to do? The cart's already approaching, and with 2 minutes left, it's going to be a hard hold to do because they will have a supercharger. Himeka is slept. That's a nice sleep guard, but the wall saves the Reaper. Alpha Faded goes very low here, but it looks like the attackers is going to be able to push on through. Again, going to the high ground for Himeka, just jumps back down. The Blizzard does come out. I don't think it will freeze anyone up here, but it will at least buy some space for the attackers. Not that they can do much with it, because they already lost their Roadhog and their Mei. So a lot of damage will need to come out in order for them to pull this one back, and it doesn't look like this is going to happen. At least they pull out a few ultimates from the defense.
Yeah, that was an interesting flank from Pacifist. He actually went through the bank vault and got around behind to throw out that Blizzard.
Himeka burst from the Death Blossom because Idachi will fall from that, but they can just reset. Why are you not resetting? You have another minute and a half. You have like at least 2 more fights here, guys. Just go back.
Well, we see Bomar has swapped off that D.Va now, so that would have been good to absorb.
I really hope that Death Blossom is not going to come back to haunt them, because that really wasn't necessary there, I feel.
Actually, yeah, that would be their only ultimate. The next highest ultimate percentage is Snappy with 44% of their way to that sound barrier. With only a minute left, it'd be very difficult for anyone on that team to build up an ult. You see the Dragon invested by Delete Brick here.
Into the hole. They already get Balloon out of it, but Salt Lake is still alive, so they can... Nope. Also falls. Now they can get to go for another reset, and they still have 2 support ultimates and a Death Blossom on the defense.
We could see a Beyblade.
We could see a hold. I think that's the main thing. We could definitely see a hold coming out, and you would really like that Death Blossom back right about now. But it's all still possible. These ultimates don't necessarily mean everything in the grander scheme of things, so it's all going to come down to execution.
Yeah, he could get frozen. He could get hooked. Could get booped away. There's a lot that the Burning Blossoms can do to deny Alpha Faded, is assuming they spot him out before he invests the Beyblade. Sorry, the Death Blossom.
Yeah, Alpha Faded gonna jump down, doesn't get nano, doesn't need to get nano, just gets damage boosted and takes down 2. Meanwhile, Vega has also fallen. They get the res onto Bomar, and it looks like this attack is gonna just fall apart here. Looks like Atlantic Lightning gonna win out this series, gonna win out the map, just gonna take it home on Dorado.
Wow.
That's not what you saw coming, was it?
No, a very, very good defense there. I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, that Death Blossom there from Alpha Faded, really well positioned to, I guess, stop that final push. So overall, I think better ult management really from Atlantic Lightning there at the end. As you pointed out, maybe Himeka wanted to keep that Death Blossom, but at the end of the day, Atlantic got the better. Started. No, they started with the worst time back, didn't they? Okay.
Yeah,
they
did. Yeah, they started with a minute and a half, and yeah, they defended.
So that map just fell apart for Burning Blossoms then.
They really did. Yeah, I mean, they had 2 minutes to push that last part, and they just didn't manage to quite do it. But you know what? We had a good series, so I'm not disappointed. Not disappointed about anything. Burning Blossoms did a very good showing here, but it's going to be Atlantic Lightning going on to the finals here for the Community Crossover Cup. Yeah, I mean, once again, it's a great series. I definitely have fun watching them. I'm very curious to see what Atlantic Lightning is going to show against their opponents, and I mean, who are they going to be? Because that's the next question. And we're going to have another series on soon, obviously, because we're working on it. And the other series is going to be, let's see, Dirt versus Canis Aureus. So very much still all to play for. One of those teams going to the finals here. Against Atlantic Lightning, and we're almost at the end of the Community Crossover Cup. It's been fun. It's been a ride, and I'm looking forward to the end of it.
So am I. I'll be tuning in for that and the final on, I think, is it Monday night?
Yeah, it very well should be
Monday the 12th.
Yep. I'm curious. We've seen 12 players do a lot of work here. If you're gonna give like a very an MVP type of vote, sort of thing, who would you give it to?
I'd probably give it to Faded. He did really well on particularly standout performances on the Widow and the Reaper there. As we saw that the Death Blossom at the end is what cleaned it up, but he did well, particularly on the previous maps as well, and playing in the Zarya, a couple of good grabs. I believe he's the one that got the solo grab onto a Mercy, which is funny, but it worked.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd
I
say.
mean,
I think,
it's really interesting, right? Because Alpha was the one that disconnected on Hollywood, and that's the one map they didn't
of
win. So
course.
that's like it makes it even more interesting. I do want to give a little bit of a shout out to him, to the counterpart of Himeki as well, though.
Mm,
That definitely showed up very well on the Reaper and the Widowmaker as well. But there was more happening here and there. So like it's every player played very well. We had a lot of good plays coming out from everyone. We have some good eats coming out from Bomar still on the Blizzards. A lot of good antidotes and sleep darts, especially those sleep darts in the later map of that was the Itachi, that was the other support.
Hayden.
Yeah, Hayden. A lot of work on the Ana as well. So it's just it's been going back and forth between these teams. They had a very close series. I think it could have gone to map 5 if we had a little bit more push there on the Rado, but once again, very great series. It was a community crossover cup special. I've been man of class, been casting here with Temporal. On the production, we had First Night of Knee, obviously doing the great camera work that you've all been seeing. And yeah, that's been it for us tonight. Obviously, don't forget to leave the likes, the subscribes to everything, comment to all the communities that we've got running here. And if you're from one of them, maybe try out another at some point as well, because we're all here to play Overwatch. That's what everyone really loves to do. So whenever you have the time, stop on by. For now, have a good night, and we'll see you in the next one.